welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hail Empath, and I just like having these little talks and the way I feel about things. It's a pretty good day. It's wild, man. Just weird, more weird stuff. I keep saying things are just gonna get weird, more and more weird. And they just keep getting more and more weird, but nothing really surprises me very much anymore. It really doesn't. I saw on Facebook today, there was an ad where somebody posted the high school I went to, the wrestling coach was arrested for inappropriate things with minor, and that's the thing, it's like this whole population of people that have had their head buried in the sand, now it's like blatantly, grossly obvious. These freaking creeps, they're not just all male, they're female too, that like to take things from people. And I can't wait till people start talking about reading energy. It's a vibration, man. I feel people with that vibration in the grocery store, and I can't help but go, ugh, when they walk past me, because I freaking know what they are. That's why I freaking listen to my music all the time, man. To me, it's just like, but then again, I was looking outside. I was hanging out with the cat out back this afternoon. We were getting some grounding time, and before it started raining, and I was looking at the trees, and I was looking at the trees' aura, and I see an aura. I see in frequency. Everybody does, if they allow their eyes to see. See, and you know how they said, don't look at the eclipse, don't look at eclipse. Well, I looked freaking right at that thing. I looked at it the whole time, So, and then after the eclipse happened, I see auras even more. And we're all supposed to see in frequency, but everybody spends more time on glamour eyewear and correcting their vision. But what they don't recognize is they're impairing their third eye vision. So I'm about security and safety, and if I've never been paranoid, I've always been cautious. But I mean, if you've listened to other of my videos, I have reason to be. I shouldn't trust anybody, and I still find it in my heart to trust people first and get freaking screwed, because I'm still always seeing the higher vibration in people, and I'm not paying attention to the shadow side. Now I'm allowing myself to see, allow myself to be around people, and I'm less I had a Nikon stolen because I freaking smoked a joint with the kid. He robbed me, and that's just like, it's the worst karma. And it was my freaking Vans bag and stuff like that, and I freaking fought him. I freaking went for it, he drugged me and stuff, and it was a bad deal, but that's why I don't run in circles like that, because when you run in certain circles and go to bars and things like that, that's what happens in the parking lots of those places. So, that stuff ain't for me. So I like to share experiences I've had. I like to share experiences that people I know directly have had, So people are just trying to keep themselves safe, because all the astrology, man, people are just getting more violent. They're getting more aggressive. They're getting more fearful. And, all this freaking, health scare crap is only perpetuating the madness. And, everything's all, economic, blah, blah. I don't got no money. I ain't gonna be in no different boat if the freaking stock crash, except food is gonna go up. But it already goes up because the freaking producers are so greedy. They're going for their first corner profits, earnings. Stupid. Fear is a freaking in the eye of the beholder, man. Dude, what else do I gotta be afraid of? I mean, from what I understand, heaven is the place you want to be. Heaven. Life is freaking hell, man. Life sucks, especially when you have no freaking support system at all. None. No family, nothing. You're in it yourself. You're hanging out with Ma, and that's it. I don't know anybody else in life that has ever done what I'm doing at the age that I am. Now, I'm sure that, it's only going to get more because the boomers are getting old, man. The boomers are getting old. Um, and everybody's just a freaking. People can't afford to. I don't know. So, some of the examples of what I like to do is sometimes I'll talk safety stuff and things that you do, like I don't care if you're male, female, if you go on a trip or you're going to go on a hike. The days of freaking hiking by yourself are over. You need to always tell at least one human being where you're going, where you're gonna get back, the route you're gonna take, and you're not gonna vary from that vary from that route. What time you're gonna be back, and yada yada. Because the world, the days of the world being a safe place, until things start freaking people, I don't know, indefinitely, are over. So you're just going to need to be more pragmatic and think ahead. I know a woman who freaking was driving on a rural highway, interstate in Nebraska, and freaking semis. One got in front of her, one got behind her, and forced her off the road. And another semi came along and and helped her out of the jam. But that's the thing, and there's a lot of so much trafficking, human sex trafficking and stuff in the Midwest. It's so disgusting and gross. Oh, it creeps me out. College World Series, all of it is just all a big old because old fucking white creepy dudes love their trophies. And the younger the better, and they're just gross. And this is the stuff that people need to start really recognize. And you know what the sucky part about that whole thing about with the football or the wrestling coach is? I talk about the hard growing up. Well, my brother, it was just me, my mom, my brother. My brother didn't have freaking positive role models like so many other. Where are the positive role models? Where are they? Right? So he didn't have that positive role model, and he freaking, so he went to turn to wrestling, and that was like an escape for him. And so to have a freaking coach put himself in but they do that. They put themselves in predatory position, But hey, and it was at that same district when I was 12 years old. I got freaking suspended for calling a teacher a dirty old man. The dude creeped all the girls out, and he just would inappropriately. You don't put your hands on. You don't. Anyway, so you know what? In all these years of people denying it, and it's just like you can't deny this stuff. I mean, I was freaking deflowered when I was less than a year old because dudes are perverts. A lot of them are. Thank God that there's a lot of good men out there in the world still, and that they're freaking well adjusted and they're balanced and they're masculine and feminine. That they're good dads. I've seen them. I've seen them my whole life. I just never freaking had one. So those, they're freaking everywhere. There are a lot of good men in the world. There really are. That's how man. But for the sake of this talk, I want to keep people safe, and the astrology keeps saying that, it's only gonna get more freaking fiery, man. People are losing it because they don't know how to control their own emotions. That is why, because I've had problems with anger, and I have freed myself up, and that is my goal, is to live anger free. And I see all these practitioners, and they're like, oh, with their take on living anger free, and I'm just like, what have you had to get through? Your parents get divorced when you're in junior high, and that wrecked your life. Maybe one of your parents died. I can't relate to that, but when I was 15, my mom had a major brainstem stroke, and when my father, when I was 12, he got crushed by a bunch of culvert pipes, cracked his head open in 5 places. So I assure you, my parents didn't die, but they aren't the same people I came into the world to. So, and mom's just kind of, so. And we all deteriorate. It does. Everybody, with the speed in which they do it, is all fast or slow, depending on if you're living fast or slow. And mom, we've never eaten a lot of junk food. We're pretty healthy. We're pretty healthy folks. Always have been. I haven't had a cold in freaking 15 years. One cold in 15 years, probably 17 years, something like that. When I get sick, I get freaking sick. It takes out my whole body. It's my whole energy field it's like, you know. And I'm one of those terrible patients, but nobody comes around to nurse me anyway. I just kind of just gotta freaking press on, you know. So that's why when I start to get a scratchy throat, I freaking up my vitamins. I freaking, dress more, if there's a chill, bundle up and just be smart about it, and don't go to where a bunch of freaking dirty people hang out, you know. All sickness is freaking people being dirty. It's dirty. And it's, a lot of it's made in the lab too. But, like catching in colds and stuff like that, I used to hate that. I used to like freaking because I was in IT, and people are freaking filthy. And the condition, and it's so, cause the condition of their keyboard, I could tell so much about somebody and how much nasty, like, because people eat over their keyboards, so it is pretty, people are nasty, they're dirty. I used to freaking sit next to the freaking, men's bathroom at one place, and I hear dudes come out all day long. I could hear the toilet, but I wouldn't hear the sink. And it's just like, it's just, I don't know. But there's this whole, this for years and years with all this Weinstein and Cosby. I knew that dude was freaking had bad eyes when I was 2 years old. I said he had bad eyes. Mom always said he'd say people had bad eyes. I can freaking, my record's pretty good too. So all this stuff I've been saying, people are like, never believe me. I've had terrible things happen to me, and I know other women, countless women, but men, you never know guys that do it, right? I know who they are. They're in frats. I know who they are. They wear Nikes. I know who they are. Yeah. They hate dogs. I know who they are. Anyway, can't wait till people start really talking about reading frequency. Test it out. I have 46 years of practice, and my record's pretty good, so. Anyway, I still ain't no 100% though, because people that sometimes their shadow is freaking super there, but I should say lower vibrational behavior is super there, prominent, and it takes me by surprise sometimes. So, I do get duped, and I ain't perfect. I'm just a Heyoka wise clown. That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.